welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I didn't realize that I was actually going to go live right now. I was trying to test it out. Let me put my microphone in here, y'all, and I'm going to do a quick message. Hopefully, I can be heard. Let's see. All right, testing. I don't know if I can be heard, so I'm going to pull it up on the other phone and see if I can find this live stream because you know how it is. You just never know. It'd be too many technical difficulties whenever I'm trying to get a message out, and I don't have time to be playing around today. So, how are all y'all doing out there today? Hopefully, you're doing well. Um, Wait till it's Dean's talk. So, yep, it looks like I am live. Okay, it looks like I was freezing up just now. All right, let me get off of here so y'all can pay attention to me. All right, get off my other phone, stop this, and exit out. There we go. Okay, so greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm your hostess and your melanated queen. Y'all like my hair? Y'all see how my hair has grown? It's all mine, y'all. So, y'all saw me cutting the grass yesterday. I cut the grass yesterday evening. I didn't finish the yard because the battery died. However, here's the message to all my divinity walkers out there, to the divine angelic spirits that are walking in your divinity. This is the message that hit me. So, a lot of times, there are going to be people that are going to try to take away opportunities that are meant for you. And I'm bringing this up because I was talking to a colleague of mine earlier, and it just brought up something that I went through earlier this year, back in May. And when people are constantly trying to take away your opportunity, it is strictly because they don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you succeed. They recognize something in you that is powerful. They recognize something in you that they wish they had. And so the only way that they can try to combat these things is to basically take away your opportunity. And you'll find this go on in the corporate arena, in the job space, workplaces, where they won't let you grow like you're supposed to grow when you are a forward thinker, when you have so much potential. And people don't like to see that because they see you as competition. So what they do is try to hold you back from achieving what you really could be. And a lot of people that are divine people, divine energy, divine spirits are going to go through these things. A lot of times you will have to isolate yourself. You have to stay in isolation because you cannot surround yourself with a lot of these people. These people are evil. These people are mean spirited. They don't have your best interest at heart whatsoever. And you got to be very careful with people that come around and pretending like they like you when really um, they're trying to be nosy, right? People come around you trying to be nosy because they want to see what's going on with you. They're really trying to learn things about you, and they want to go back and talk about it with other people. So, to avoid all of this, you really have to stay isolated in a way, and you cannot really mix and mingle with a lot of other people. King Hazy, what's going on? You cannot mix and mingle with a lot of other people. Thank you for the thumbs up. And when you don't mix and mingle with other people, you know what they're going to say? Oh, you think all girls and women are beautiful? Trash Channel 1970. I'm glad you feel that way, but I don't think all girls and women are beautiful. I don't believe that because I feel like depending on how your spirit is on the inside, what's good, Blaze? Depending on how you are on the inside, your aesthetic beauty can be on the outside. I've met females that were beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, they were trash. Okay. How am I? I'm coming along. What's good, Immerse Swim? I'm coming along. I just wanted to talk about, being in isolation for people out there that go through these things when, you have people trying to take away your opportunities, people trying to come against you, and they'll do it in secret. They'll gather up in groups and try to do these things. And sometimes you're wondering, what did you do to these people? Why are people feeling this way? What's good, Blaze? What is it about you? Writer, VR, what's good? What is it about you that have these people all worried? Why are these people huddled up in a corner looking at you, staring at you, talking about you? Why are you getting these stares looking at you and you can't figure it out? These people recognize who you are. They recognize your energy. They recognize your power. They know that you're divine before you even realize that you're really divine. Can I help you out, Michael? I don't know. I'm just trying to help myself out, and I'm giving this message to anybody that can receive the help from the message. King Hazy says, all you did sometimes was display that shining light. That's all you do. And it's not that you're trying to outdo anybody, it's that you're just trying to be yourself, and being yourself is too much for them. It's bothering them. Adriana Blocks, what's good? Your energy can bother people, and you don't even have to say anything. All you have to do is step into the building, step into a room, walk, and you'll see people turning their heads looking at you. People start whispering about you. People start talking about you. Where am I from? Um, Thank you, Adriana. You are beautiful as well. Playtime is definitely over. I love that title. Playtime has been over, y'all. Especially when you graduate from high school, you get out here in the real world and you see what's really going on. Like, one thing about school, it never prepares you for real life. When you get out here and start seeing how these energies move around, you know to stay away from most people. Where am I from? I'm from America. I'm from this place called the US of A, y'all. That's where I'm from. Yeah, so my thing is too, like, don't feel that you have to be any different. You're going into the seventh grade. There's no way you're going into seventh grade. Am I talking to a seventh grader right now? God got you, baby. Keep going. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, Adriana, if you are going into the seventh grade, if that's really true, seventh grade is a little challenging. As far as, I'm gonna tell you what my experience was. It wasn't the intellectual part. It wasn't about getting through the material and the curriculum, because school has actually gotten easier. You all know I also substitute teach and I work with children. So what I understand is that school has gotten easier for a lot of people. It's not difficult like it was when we were in school. We had to do our own work. We didn't have the luxury of Google. We didn't have the luxury of the internet. We had to actually go and read, do real research in the library, and write our own papers. I'm not in Indianapolis, Philip. But how are you doing? So I think y'all are at an advantage if you're going to school right now, because you have so much at your disposal and at your fingertips. As far as dealing with females and dealing with people, excuse me, I think school is more challenging, because even back then when I was in seventh grade, it was not so much the material and the curriculum and the work. It was really the people that I had to deal with. And you all, what I did was, your wife is a school teacher too. What I did was, when I was in seventh grade, so I went to school in America, and then I also went to school in Germany, in elementary school in Germany, from first, second, third, fourth to fifth grade. I was in Germany. We came back, and I went to school, and I saw how behind the curriculum is in America. So what they have done, and this is a whole different subject matter, but what they have done is they've dumbed these curriculums down, so the children don't have to really work as hard. And because they don't have to work as hard, they think everything is a challenge. They don't think they really have to put forth any effort, and they can barely read, they can barely write a paper. If you tell them to write a paragraph, they act like their brains are hurting. So that's what's going on right now. And it was really handicapping the children, because it's a no child left behind thing that they implemented. So whether or not the child knows the curriculum, whether or not they really master their skill, they can get passed to the next grade. So the high school diploma really is going to mean nothing. Just like an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, all of that stuff is really kind of not meaning much right now. Half of them can't even tie their own shoes. They can't, Philip. So there are children that get into school, can't tie their shoes, don't know how to spell their name, don't know their last name, can't count. And some of the Hispanic children, They can't count in Spanish. And I'm like, how is that happening? Like, because I know before I started school, my mother made sure that we knew how to read, how to write our name, how to spell our name, how to do all these things, first and last name, before we even went to kindergarten. You said, "Oh, okay, thank you so much. Writing for me is easy because I wrote multiple books." Good for you, Adriana. So I used to love to read and write when I was your age as well. But I think you'll be fine. I think it's just going to be dealing with the other students. I think that's going to be the challenge because of social media, because of how mean-spirited people are. And you have to not follow the crowd. And like I was never a follower. I was usually a loner, and like I'm a natural born leader. And I didn't realize that until I got older. So when you look at like my birth date and everything, it says I'm a life path one, which is natural born leader. So a lot of times what you'll realize is that you influence other people. You said you get bullied a lot because of what I like. That's craziness to me, and that's ignorance. And I'm so glad that you came on here today. um who are you? Like, get off of here. um so what you have to do is, if you get bullied a lot, you have to kind of like ignore those people. And I'm gonna tell you something: people don't like being ignored, because that's why they are targeting you. That's really what this message is about. It's about the divine spirits out here, divine energies that get targeted. And even as an adult, you will get targeted. If you go to work, you will get targeted. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on your job, but most of the time this is where it happens, because people still carry that childish high school energy with them on to job into job settings, or family settings, or in a neighborhood, or just wherever you are in a community. People don't like seeing people that are different, because they cannot relate. A lot of times they're intellectually inferior, so they target these individuals. If they see something going good for you, or if they see how you have your life together in a certain capacity, they don't like it, so they want to gang up on you. And it's really sad. But just understand that when you get to a certain level of elevation, and Adriana, you have a lot of growing to do in this world, and you're going to encounter a lot of people that are going to be jealous of you because of your intellectual prowess, because you probably don't blend in with them. Divine entities and divine spirits are not meant to blend in. You are meant to basically influence. And even if you're not trying to be a like, you don't want to be a public influencer, you don't understand that you're influencing people just by living your life, people around you. You don't have to come on social media to influence people. I found that a lot of people did things that I did just because they saw me doing it. People wanted to do stuff that I did, and I actually copied what I was doing. And I wasn't trying to have an influence on people. I was just being myself and, living my life. So a lot of times people don't like that, because you've orchestrated a reality for yourself that they can't understand how it's working for you, and they want it to work for them. You see that you're the first person to pronounce my name right, Adriana. I was also an English major, so that's why I said I like to read and write. And so that's what I'm saying. You can get off of here, whoever this is. You need to get off here, because you just want attention, and nobody took any money from anyone. So go ahead and you can go. So we're going to remove you. First of all, we're going to report you. We're going to remove you. And then we also want you to stay gone. So, like I'm saying, as I'm talking about this message, you see how people like this come into the chat section, and it's like they need attention from divine spirits such as myself, Adriana. So I just want you to see how I handled that situation. I noticed that when I do these lives, I'm starting to attract. And Adriana, you're probably doing the same thing. You're attracting a lot of attention towards you. It's not that you're trying, but you have a divine right to be who you were meant to be. If you like reading, if you like writing, if you're into other things, that's because your mind is not like everybody else's. That's because you're touched, divinely touched by a higher power and a higher energy. So, because you're touched, and because you are different and unique, and you don't blend in with the crowd, you're going to attract these other energies that are going to antagonize you, that want to taunt you, just like what we just witnessed. My biggest thing, remember, I said you have to ignore it. Sometimes you have to ignore it, and it takes a lot of energy to keep feeding that negative energy. That's what they want. They want your divine energy, but they can't have it. They could never be on your level because you're too elevated to even come down and entertain nonsense like that. So we have to know. You said, what's my name? My name is Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Brown Girls Are Beautiful, Adriana. I don't say my real name on here only because there are so many negative entities out here that I don't believe that everybody deserves the right to know my name, but you can call me Shanae. Okay, that is one of my names, Shanae. All right. But even your name has an energy and a power to it. Like when I actually researched my name, everything that it said described me. So it is not by mistake, it is by design that you have the birth date that you have the zodiac sign that you have, and that you have the life path number that you have. Thank you so much. And actually, my cousin named her daughter after myself and my sister. So my cousin actually has that as her first name. So, Adriana, my love, please, you said Chardonnay. My name is not Chardonnay. So don't put a color on it. Philip, I don't know what you're talking about. My name is not Chardonnay, it's Shanae. So you have it all wrong, and that's not how you spell it either. So Adriana, as I was saying, my divine entity, my divinity walker, continue to be you, and don't get what I want to say, distracted by these other energies, because there are going to be so many challenges and distractions in your walk of life. I know you're only in going to seventh grade, you're very young, but I'm telling you, life challenges people at a very, very critical age, even at the fragile age of being in middle school, high school, college. A lot. I remember when I was much younger, I had adults. These were supposed to be grown women that used to target me. And it was very nasty and it was very brutal, because like I said, people, when they're not on your elevation and they're not on your level, you're going to get their attention. They're going to be looking at you, they're going to be scoffing at you, squawking at you. And it's like they just look at you in awe, but they also admire you at the same time. They don't like you, but they admire you at the same time. So that's why sometimes it's important to isolate yourself. It's important to put your energy first, and like, don't exchange your energy with people if you don't want to. You're not required to entertain anybody. You're not required to talk to anyone. You're not required to acknowledge anybody. And not giving attention is not giving people life. When you don't feed it, it doesn't grow. And there are a lot of people that wish they could, be who you are, have the interest that you are, have the mindset that you are, all of these things. So, Adriana, that's the best advice I can give you because you're so young and impressionable. I just want you to continue to be who you were meant to be. Don't let anybody else influence you, and don't feel like you have to go with the crowd, because you can lose yourself doing that. I remember I used to be a loner in school, and I never went with the crowd. And I know people used to always pick on and tease certain people. I was never one of those people. It just felt wrong to me. And I just think that people are very weak minded when they have to do that. When it's a group setting and they feel like they have to go and pick on somebody and bully somebody. You want to be a singer, that's why your PFP looks like that. Oh, your personal profile picture? Well, if you have a beautiful voice that you were talented and skilled with, and that you were given, that is a gift. That is something that I wish I had. I used to wish I had the voice of singing. I don't have the gift of singing, but I can write. And I played instruments. I was a music major. That's how much I loved music. I still love music. So go after your talents, and don't let anybody try to tell you that you can't sing, you don't have the voice of singing, because that's another thing. People will also try to attack what you love. People will try to attack what you're good at. So don't let them win. You said, I'm sorry, the phone picked it up. That was Shauna. You're beautiful, any color, blue, black, green, or red. Your positive outlook is creative. Thank you, Philip. Shauna. So no, put an E at the end of it, Philip. Shanae. But thank you. Yes, so mostly and most importantly, Adriana, I wish you much success with your singing abilities. If you have a channel, maybe I can check you out if you post your singing on there. I don't know if you do or you don't. Don't give up on it. I loved writing ever since I was 7. and I was writing books at the age of 7, y'all, in my own world. I used to pull out the typewriter and I used to type. I used to illustrate because I used to want to be an artist. I used to draw my own pictures because I wanted to write children's books. And I was writing, and till this day I still love to write. It's just that life circumstances can actually distract you. So Shauna, please don't let anybody distract you from your dream. This is what this channel is about, talking about real world information that affects so many of us that people don't like talking about. But yeah, you're going to always have somebody trying to bully you. And I hate hearing that you're going through that in seventh grade or sixth grade, at any grade. And like I said, if you check out one of my channels, there's a girl named, I think, Nyla, working at Walgreens, y'all. She is so gifted and beautiful. And there was a grown woman actually bullying Nyla at Walgreens on her job. What's good, Sue Gwen? How are you? Bullying this girl on her job. Well, you're going to always have people do that. And these people, grown adults, sometimes they're not really grown. They're just children trapped in an adult body. You have to understand that. A lot of times there are children that are more mature than adults. Adriana, thank you so much. I'm making my own song. That's amazing. And I'm going to post it when it's done and it actually get famous. I remember you for encouraging me. You're going to get there, girl. Yes, Shanae. Thank you, Philip. You are going to get there. And I can't wait to see your posts. And you don't have to wait until it's famous. You make yourself famous. Remember, this music industry is very tainted. Be very careful. There are a lot of things that take place in this dark energy called the music industry. So do what you need to do for yourself. Stay positive. Continue to walk in your divinity, girl. And you got it. All right, I have to go because I got to go get my order out of the store. But thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, you all stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay positive. Walk in your divinity, y'all. To my spiritual walkers out here, my divine ultimate warriors, continue to walk in your divinity. You said you're so sweet and supportive. Good luck to everyone with your creative endeavors. Yes, Sue Gwen. Good luck, everybody, to your creative endeavors. And that's what I want this channel to be about. Support and create, y'all. Support and create. All right, girl. All right. Talk to y'all later, y'all. Stay good. I'll talk to y'all later.